Hello and welcome back to English Conversation Hub. I'm your host, Ava.
And I'm Oliver. It's great to be with you all again.
Today I think this is a really fun one, Oliver. We are diving headfirst into the world of Hollywood, but maybe not in the way you'd expect.
Right, we're not talking about plot holes or bad special effects. We're going after something much, much nerdier. Today's episode is called English Movie Mistakes.
Yes, we are putting on our grammar goggles and hunting for those little grammatical errors that slip into some of the biggest movies. Because, even with million-dollar budgets and teams of writers, mistakes happen.
They absolutely do. And it's fascinating, right? Because sometimes it's an outright error, and sometimes it's a choice to make the dialogue sound more, natural and less like a textbook.
Exactly. So we're going to break down some of the most common ones. And don't worry, this isn't going to be a boring grammar lesson. This is about seeing how English works, or doesn't work, even on the silver screen. Ready to get started?
Let's do it. So where should we begin? What's our first offender?
Okay, so I think we have to start with a classic, a true giant in the world of grammatical mix-ups, the infamous confusion between lay and lie.
Oh, yes, the big one. I feel like this one trips up pretty much everyone, native speakers included.
Totally. So for anyone listening, let's just do a super quick breakdown. To lie down means to recline. It's something you do yourself. I am going to lie down. But to lay something down means you are placing an object somewhere. It needs an object. I will lay the book on the table.
Right. Lay needs a buddy, an object to act upon. Lie, fly solo. That's kind of how I remember it. But the tricky part is the past tense, right?
Yes. The past tense of lie is lay. Yesterday, I lay down for a nap. It's so confusing.
Which is just cruel. English can be cruel. Okay, so movie example. Hit me with it.
Okay, so I was rewatching the first Hunger Games movie, and there's that emotional scene where Katniss is with a dying Rue.
Ugh, yeah. Heartbreaking.
So sad. And she sings to her, and then she gathers flowers to place on her body, and she says something like, I'm just gonna lay here with you for a while.
Oof, yep, there it is. She's not laying an object down, she is doing the action herself. So it should be,
I'm just going to lie here with you. It's a tiny change, but it's technically the correct one. Now, in that moment, does it ruin the scene? Of course not. It's an intensely emotional beat.
And you could argue that a distressed teenager from District 12 probably wouldn't be worrying about the transitive and intransitive verb forms. It sounds more natural, more authentic for her to say lay.
That's the great debate, isn't it? Authenticity versus grammatical purity. I see it all the time. An action hero will get knocked down and say, I'll just lay here for a second. It's so common, it almost sounds right to our ears now.
It really does. It's a fossilized error almost. Okay, so lay versus lie is a big one. What's next on our hit list?
All right, let's move on to something involving quantity, another classic pair that gets mixed up constantly, less and fewer.
Yes, the bane of the supermarket checkout line, the 10 items or less sign.
It should be 10 items or fewer. It drives me crazy because you can count the items. 1 item, 2 items, 3 items.
Okay, deep breaths. But you're right, that's the rule, isn't it? If you can count it, use fewer. If it's a sort of amorphous, uncountable amount, you use less.
Exactly. You have less water, but fewer bottles of water. You have less money, but fewer coins. So I saw this one in, I think it was Ocean's 11.
Ah, great movie. So stylish.
The best. And they're planning the heist, and I think it's Matt Damon's character who is talking about the guards, and he says something like, there will be less guards on Tuesday.
Fewer guards? You can count guards. 1 guard, 2 guards. Sorry, I'm getting worked up with you now.
Right? It should be fewer guards. And again, it's one of those things that people say all the time in real life. It feels natural to say less, so it makes its way into scripts. I don't think it's laziness on the writer's part. I think it's reflective of common usage.
It's a case of language evolving, maybe. The distinction between less and fewer is, well, it's becoming less distinct.
See what you did there? Very clever. But yeah, language does change. But for now, for the purists and for anyone taking an English exam, the rule still holds. Fewer for countable, less for uncountable.
All right, so we've had lay, lie, less, fewer. What's the next grammatical crime we're investigating, Detective?
Okay, this one is a bit more advanced, I guess. It's the whole who versus whom situation.
Oh boy. Okay, even I get tangled up in this one sometimes. It feels very formal, a bit old-fashioned.
It does, but there's a really simple trick to remember it. If you can answer the question with he or she, you use who. If you can answer it with him or her, you use whom.
Whoa, okay, say that again. That's actually really helpful.
Right? So, for example, who ate the last cookie? The answer would be he did, so who is correct.
Okay.
But for the question, to whom should I give this letter, the answer is give it to him. So whom is correct. It's about whether the person is the subject doing the action or the object receiving it.
My mind is kind of blown right now. That clarifies so much. Okay, so movie example. Where does this pop up?
Pretty much any movie where someone asks, who are you going with?
Wait, is that wrong? I say that all the time.
Technically, yes, because the answer would be, I am going with him. So the question should be, whom are you going with? Or, even more properly, with whom are you going?
Okay, but nobody talks like that. If a character in a high school comedy said, with whom are you going to the prom, they'd sound like a robot or a British butler from the 1920s.
Precisely. And that's why this is such a common mistake in films. It's a rule that is so widely ignored in casual speech that using it correctly would sound unnatural and clunky. I was watching a James Bond movie, Skyfall, and I'm pretty sure Daniel Craig asks someone, who are you working for?
Let me try the trick. The answer is, I'm working for him. So it should be, whom are you working for?
You got it, but can you imagine James Bond in the middle of a tense interrogation, carefully enunciating whom? It would just kill the mood.
Yeah, that's a perfect example of breaking a rule for the sake of character and flow. It's technically wrong, but practically, it's the right choice for the script.
This is why grammar is so fluid. It's not just a set of dusty rules. It's about communication. And sometimes the wrong word communicates better.
Wow, that was deep. All right, we've got time for one more. Give me something different, not just a word mix-up.
Okay, one more. Let's talk about something called a dangling modifier.
That sounds vaguely dangerous. What is a dangling modifier?
It's when a descriptive phrase at the beginning of a sentence doesn't properly attach to the thing it's supposed to be describing. It's dangling there, unattached.
Okay, that makes no sense. Give me an example.
Walking to the store, my keys fell out of my pocket.
Seems fine to me.
But look at the grammar. The phrase walking to the store is modifying the keys. The sentence is literally saying your keys were walking to the store.
Oh, I see it now. My keys have little legs and are going to buy milk. Right, so it should be, while I was walking to the store, my keys fell out.
Exactly, you fixed it. So this happens in movies sometimes, especially with narration or voiceover. In the movie Jurassic Park, an absolute masterpiece,
Agreed.
there's a line of narration where Richard Attenborough's character says something like, after being dormant for millions of years, our scientists have brought the dinosaurs back to life.
Let me see. after being dormant for millions of years is modifying our scientists. So the scientists were asleep for millions of years? They must be exhausted.
They had a very long nap. It's a funny mental image. Of course, we all know what he means. Our brains automatically fix the sentence for him, but grammatically, it's a little wobbly. It should be, our scientists have brought back dinosaurs that were dormant for millions of years.
That's a great one. Once you start noticing dangling modifiers, you can't stop. You see them everywhere.
It's true, it's a curse, but a fun one. And that kind of brings us to the end of our little cinematic grammar hunt.
You know, that reminds me of another one I see all the time, and it's a hot topic in the grammar world, the singular they. Wow, that flew by. So we had lay versus lie, less versus fewer, who versus whom, and sleepy scientists.
We did. And the big takeaway is that, language in movies is a tool for storytelling, not just for passing a grammar test. Sometimes being wrong is the right choice for the character.
Absolutely. But it's also really fun to spot these things. It makes you a more active viewer and listener. So here's a challenge for our audience. The next time you're watching a movie, keep an ear out. See if you can catch any of these mistakes.
Yes, and let us know what you find. You can reach out to us on all our social media channels. We'd love to hear about the movie mistakes you've discovered.
That's all the time we have for today. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Join us next time on English Conversation Hub, where we'll be talking about the weird and wonderful world of idioms related to food. It's gonna be a piece of cake.
Oh, nice one. See you then, everyone. Bye.
Bye.